Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to be taking a look at my sap green watercolors. So as I've said in previous videos that feature greens, I tend to avoid convenience greens or greens in general actually. I much prefer to mix my own with the yellows and blues on my palette. I do however see a lot of artists that do use convenience greens and they get great results. And one of the most popular ones I see used is sap green. So let's take a look at the first one here. It's Daniel Smith sap green. This one's a 3-pigment mix of PO48, PY150 and PG7. So I swatched this one out in my recent Daniel Smith swatching series and I absolutely loved it. I think it's the only time I've ever really been tempted to buy a Daniel Smith paint. Yeah, and seeing it here again, I think it makes me love it even more. So I often think the PY150 yellow undertone can look a bit acidic, but in this paint, I think it looks pretty good. Though we'll have to wait to see what it looks like when it's dry. Okay, and next we have Schmincke sap green. It's a mix of PY153 and PG7. This looks nothing like the Daniel Smith before it. I'm not sure which of these two is more like the real sap green colour. I read online that sap green is described as a bright mid-range green with a yellow undertone. So maybe this Schmincke's more how the actual sap green colour should look, but I don't know. And even if it is, I still much prefer the Daniel Smith. The Schmincke's just way too bright for my tastes. And the final sap green I own is Vinci sap green. This one's a mix of PG7 and PY42. So this one's another completely different shade of green. Yeah, it's different, but it is very nice. Yeah, it doesn't really have the yellow undertone, so I wouldn't say it looks like a sap green, but I do think it would be useful for landscapes. Okay, that's all three of my sap greens. I was planning to try and mix my own sap green in the fourth box, but all these three are so different, I'm kind of confused as to what a sap green should look like. So I think I'm just going to try and mix something resembling the Daniel Smith. Okay, this is my Da Vinci palette. I'm going to start off with a bit of Viridian. It takes a minute to get it to re-wet. Then I'm going to add some PY150 Nickel Azo Yellow. And then to knock the brightness down a little, I'm going to add some PR102 Terracotta. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks okay so far. I think I need a bit more paint on the brush to show a darker mass tone. I quite like this green actually. Yeah, came out better than I expected. Right, so let's look at them in daylight when completely dry. Yeah, the Daniel Smith is still my favourite here, I think, though the Da Vinci is very beautiful too. I think, yeah, either would be quite useful in a landscape palette. The Schmincke, yeah, I don't like it very much, to be honest. It's just not the type of green I'd ever buy. I do imagine it could be useful for artists who need a brighter spring green type colour though. As for my sap green imitation, yeah, I quite like it. Probably shows how easy it is to mix a natural green using something like Viridian or Phthalo green and just mixing it with the other colours on your palette. So what's your favourite brand of sap green? And what, in your opinion, should a sap green look like? Thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you in the next video. Bye bye.